Good evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Amelia Marquez. In tonight's news, a Winchester woman is in the Bedford County Jail after she allegedly committed perjury during her testimony in a murder trial. Tullahoma officials have approved funding for a new animal shelter, and Oak Park residents took their fight to stop the construction of a new convenience store adjacent to the property to the Tullahoma Planning Commission earlier this week. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. Check out this 2017 Kia Forte, yours today, $279 a month. Or check out the 2018 Kia Sorento, up to $4,000 off. Kia is the power to surprise. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
Attention Shoeistas, Brenn's Shoe Boutique in Tullahoma is closing forever. Every item in the store is reduced for immediate sale. Brenda is offering huge discounts on her entire inventory of fashion women's shoes, designer handbags, and jewelry, featuring famous brands like Yellow Box, Nine West, Bandolero, Impo, Coach, Michael Kors, Joseph Ribkoff, and others. The sale is underway now through March 3rd. Hurry in for huge savings at Brenn's Shoe Boutique, 115 Northwest Atlantic Street, Tullahoma. Open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday.
Welcome back. An investigation by special agents with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has resulted in the arrest of a Winchester woman who is charged with committing perjury during testimony in a Bedford County trial. At the request of the 17th District Attorney General Robert Carter on February 16th, TBI agents investigated a complaint that Amber Marie Rinaldi Fletcher committed perjury when she testified in a homicide trial in Bedford County on February 15th. Agents learned that Rinaldi Fletcher, who is the defendant's wife, provided testimony in the trial that contradicted previous statements she gave to the TBI. Last Friday, Rinaldi Fletcher was arrested and charged with one count of aggravated perjury. She was booked in the Bedford County Jail on a $100,000 bond.
The new Tullahoma Animal Shelter will finally become a reality after the Tullahoma Board of Mayor and Aldermen approved the low bid to construct the facility.
We have another excellent bid that has come in, acceptance of bid for the Tullahoma Animal Care and Control Facility construction project. That's found on page 140 of your agenda. We've been waiting on this for a long time. So 3 bids were received and opened on February the 7th for construction of the Tullahoma Animal Care and Control Facility project. The base bids range from $410,000 to $681,000. So the bids were reviewed by Public Works and St. John Engineering. Brindley and Son Construction were the apparent low bidder. And so the motion would be to, if approved, to award the bid to the project of Brindley and Sons Construction and accept the base bid as well as add alternate number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4, and authorize the mayor to sign all relevant project and contract documents. And the chair will note that over 25% of the construction cost have been raised by donations from private sources, which is remarkable to me. That's great. So, the chair will entertain a motion.
Motion approved. Second.
Motion probably second. Any discussion?
A question.
Mr. Millis.
We refer to it as a Tullahoma Animal Care. What kind of animals are we caring for there?
What kind of animals?
Yeah.
Dogs of all shapes and sizes.
It's a dog.
It is.
Yeah.
It's for dogs.
It is.
And we refer to it as animal. We have in the city tremendous, I'm all for this plan, don't get me wrong there, but we also have a tremendous challenge to take care of feral cats in the city. And we don't seem to be addressing that issue at all. It's not relevant to this at all, but I think it's something that I would like for this board to be concerned about. And let's call this a dog facility. Let's get a place to take care of some of the cats that we have roaming around. So
Well, we could name it animal and maybe do an addition one day.
Well, I think we'll learn from Public Works that who manages the facility, they don't want to have dogs and cats nearby because of disease issues and things like that. But I mean, that's a good point. But I don't. So, any other discussion on this, Mr. Bonds?
Yes, if I may, one thing to bear in mind, of course, the animal care and control facility, that's more of a 21st century kind of characterization of the facility. Metro Nashville uses that, and several other cities, so we just want to stay in step with the times. In regard to the issue about other animals, bear in mind, once this project is completed, this will free up our old animal control center, and so that will not be demolished. We will continue to use it. One of the things that we want to use that facility for is for quarantining animals, because there are times when we have to quarantine them. And so we can certainly, as part of the preservation of the original building, we can look at whether or not we can expand to other animals, as you mentioned. But we do not intend to demolish the old building, and so we may be able to address some of your concerns at that time.
I do get a number of questions about what are we doing to control the feral cats in the community.
Okay. Anything else? Other discussion? All those in favor of 1827, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Motion passes 7-0.
Stay with us. We have more Newsleader coming up after these messages.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and Winchester. Check out this 2018 Ford Focus, $299 a month. Or check out the 2018 Ford F-150 up to $9,000 off. Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and Winchester. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. Several residents who live in the Oak Park subdivision in Tullahoma appeared before the Tullahoma Planning Commission this week to voice their concern over the planned construction of a convenience store and gas station scheduled to be built adjacent to their property.
My name is Bob Hazard. I've known a couple of you up there for quite some time, and I am a resident in this subdivision, and I object to a specific item on the site plan and the proposal. We start with the understanding that zoning and subdivision restrictions are apples and oranges. They're two different things. They both deal with property, but they are different. Zoning generally with the overall plan for the city, subdivision restrictions usually more specific, a little bit more detailed regarding, in this case, where residential homes are located. This is not as complicated as it might be because the site plan is very specific and the restrictive and protective covenants of Oak Park subdivision are about 1.5 pages long, and they are clear and concise and address the specific issue that I'm going to address. Subdivision was platted in 1951, and it provides that the only construction on any lot be a residential home or garages. That's it. It also provides for amendment to the subdivision, and it provides for legal recourse for parties that violate or want to have these enforced. So we're not asking you to enforce restrictive covenants. We're asking you not to grant a license or a permit that enables someone to break the promises that the covenants in the subdivision provide for.
Eileen Leffler, 310 Oak Park Circle. It is the responsibility of the Planning Commission to consider the rights of both the developer and the citizens in regard to proposed plans, and to ensure that adequate studies have been performed as to the effect of a proposed development on the health, well-being, and safety of residents, and do no harm.
Good evening. Laura McCall, 124 Oak Park Drive. We, the people of Oak Park and West Side Drive, appeal to you tonight to perform your duty to promote the health, safety, morals, convenience, order, prosperity, and welfare of the present and future inhabitants of the community as required in the city's zoning ordinance. The process for determining whether a proposal meets requirements should not be biased toward either the developer or concerned residents, and the resulting decision must not cause harm to either party. In short, the Planning Commission exists to strike a balance between the needs of the developer and the needs of the surrounding property owners and the community at large. As a member of the Planning Commission, most of you are citizen volunteers appointed by the mayor, and you have a tough job. You are asked to make decisions that impact people in real ways and that will shape our community now and in the future. I would want a checklist of requirement areas and the initials of the person who reviewed each component and verified that it met the requirements. You don't have that checklist. I believe you don't have it because it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist because the requirements have not been met.
Travis McCall. I live at 124 Oak Park Drive. I'm a nurse practitioner. I'm a professional geologist licensed in the state of Tennessee, and I'm a PhD student at UT actively researching environmental health. Gasoline underground storage tanks and their supply lines degrade, and they commonly leak contents into the soil and groundwater underlying the facilities. Incidental spills during fueling operations also contaminate underlying soil and the water media. If you ever are pumping gas and you look out around the gas pumps and you see a little manhole with a triangle on it, that's a monitoring well. And that's not there for aesthetics, because these gas stations have problems and they pose a risk to the underlying groundwater and require constant monitoring. In September 2017, the EPA listed more than 500,000 leaking USTs, underground storage tanks, in the United States. So now to talk about the health risks. Studies have linked groundwater contamination to cardiac, pulmonary, neurological, renal, gastrointestinal, endocrine, dermatological, ophthalmic, gynecological, genetic, and immunologic effects. Children are at higher risk due to their frequent inability to metabolize, detoxify, or excrete these contaminants. Exposure to carcinogenic compounds, such as those in gasoline, place children at increased risk for leukemia and other cancers, endocrine disorders, and neurological disease, as they have a longer lifespan for the resulting illnesses to manifest following their exposure. In summary, this benefits a few while posing a risk to many.
Mr. Chairman, this is not a motion to table, because a motion to table cannot be discussed, and I'd like to have some discussion of this motion. But the motion is to postpone the vote on this until next meeting. And in the meantime... Based on what? Based on the discussion we heard today. And in the meantime, have our director, Lee Lawson, investigate basically two things. One is whether or not this zoning ordinance properly defined the area that was being rezoned in 1989. And second, to revisit the compliance with C2 requirements and make sure that the plan fully complies with C2 requirements.
More Newsleader is coming up in a moment.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. John Gray recently caught up with award-winning bluegrass musician Becky Buller, who spoke with him about her new CD that came out on Valentine's Day.
we started out the album thinking it would be entirely guests, and we actually started the process of recording 3 years ago, and it's just now finally done and ready to be out there. I'm so glad. But we started thinking it would be all guests, like my last album, Between Earth and Sky, but it ended up just with scheduling and everything, it just made more sense to use my road band, and those guys are awesome, and I would put them up against anybody out there, and of course they did an incredible job doing the bulk of the instrumental work on this record, and of course that would be, well, it's past and present members of my band, because I have gone through a couple band changes since we started recording the record, but it's Ned Luberecki on the banjo, and he is a 2017 nominee for IBMA Banjo Player of the Year. We've got Brandon Bostic on the guitar. Of course, now he's playing for Patty Loveless, but he was in my band at that point when we recorded this. Professor Dan Boner is on the mandolin, and if you came to our show at South Jackson Civic Center last October, you saw Professor Dan on the guitar, because that's what he plays primarily in the band now, but on this recording he's playing mandolin. And then we've got Daniel the Hulk Harden on the bass, and he just left our group. He's amazing and we miss him, but we're glad our new bass man's really good too, and you're gonna like him when you hear him. And then who am I missing? Nate Lee, who plays the mandolin in my band now. We got him to play fiddle on one of the tracks with me. So he just barely made the record, but he's on there. And then we have a whole bunch of special guests. We've got Rhonda Vincent singing Calamity Jane with me, and of course she just won her very first Grammy, and congratulations to her on that big win for Bluegrass Album of the Year at the 2018 Grammy Awards. Very proud of her. So glad that she would be on that track with me. We've got Frank Sullivan, who's won multiple IBMA awards. He's an awesome mandolin player, great singer. He's singing with me on the song Bitter Springs. The Grammy Award winning Fairfield 4, for those of you who know about African American a cappella roots gospel music. These guys are like the best in that field. They are incredible, and I get goosebumps every time I talk about having a chance to record with them and them being willing to sing with me on a song that I wrote. It was so exciting. Let's see, who am I missing? Sam Bush. I did a duet with Sam Bush, and he's just one of the greatest mandolin players ever in the history of the instrument, and he's singing a duet with me. And I'm missing somebody. Claire Lynch. Oh, one of my favorite vocalists ever. Can you tell I'm excited? And Rob Ikes joins us on Dobro for a couple songs, and he's a Grammy Award winner as well, and IBMA, multiple years IBMA Dobro Player of the Year. And Erin Youngberg, who hasn't won anything yet, but she is incredible. She's singing a duet with me on here as well, and she is part of the band Finders and Youngberg from out in Colorado, and they are putting out some really great music, very interesting writing, and then Erin is a true alto, just a beautiful, deep, beautiful voice, very unique voice. I think you're going to like her a lot. We're always booking dates. It's Bluegrass, so it's endless tour, and folks can find out about our tour schedule and information about the band at BeckyBuller.com. That's Becky Buller, and Buller is spelled just like it sounds, B as in boy, ULLER, BeckyBuller.com. Currently we have a couple local shows coming up later in the year. We'll be out at Summitville Methodist for a pick-in out there in their awesome pavilion. That's in late August, and then we're going to be at Lester Flat Days in Sparty, Tennessee, just down the road, just little on past Summitville there. Just keep on trucking toward I-40, and so we'll be out there for Lester Flat Days. And but keep looking back, because we're continually booking dates, and we keep that updated. And folks can find out more about the new record there. And again, the name of the new album is Crepe Paper Heart.
So what does crepe paper heart mean to you? When you were young, did you have a crepe paper heart? Did you cut crepe paper hearts out, or?
Well, Crepe Paper Heart is actually a line in the very first song. The song is called Another Love Gone Wrong, and I I'm lamenting about having a heart that's easily torn and not easily mended. So
that would be crepe paper.
Yes. So I would say I definitely have a crepe paper heart, and I wear it on my sleeve.
Becky Buller, y'all get you some of this. It's good.
Thank you, John.
We'll be right back in a moment.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC in Winchester. Check out this 2018 Chevrolet Equinox, $229 a month. Or get up to $10,000 off select 2018 Chevrolet Silverados. That's Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC in Winchester. Why buy anywhere else?
Welcome back. Fran Gray spoke with Erica Hall about the upcoming trunk sale scheduled for this Saturday at South Jackson Civic Center.
I started Matilda Jane about a year and a half ago, and I started it because it was pretty much all my girls wore. I love their clothes. My older daughter, who is now 10, started wearing it back when she was about 3 or 4, and then I had another daughter who is now 4, and that's pretty much all that was in her closet. And so I got the opportunity to start selling it and just decided I might as well make some money and do what I really love and am passionate about.
Oh, good. So you have trunk shows, is that right?
It is. It's trunk shows, and basically the people invite you into your home and you set up your rack of clothes and you do what's called a trunk show. And the Jane is the person who is hosting the trunk show. They are called the Jane.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to keep it as simple as possible. We don't like it to be difficult. I mean, it's just, you come in with a rack of clothes and bring your girlfriends and all the little kids and girls and shop and let them try on clothes. And it's all about seeing everything in person and getting to try it on and experience it, because once you see it and try it on, you love it.
Oh, then you start twirling, right?
Yes, you start twirling. That's just it.
Now tell me about the sizes of these garments.
We have the sizes range from baby from 3 to 6 months all the way up to 18 to 24 months. And then it's girls is from size 2 all the way up to size 14. And the tween line, which they just started over the years for the tween girls who are kind of outgrowing the really ruffly stuff but still want to wear Matilda Jane. And that starts at a size 8 and goes to a size 16. And then we have women's, and the women's starts at an extra small and goes up to a double extra large now.
Oh, so we can keep up the twirling, right?
Yes, exactly.
I spied this beautiful tunic this morning. I love these colors, and Erica had told me that there were sizes for extra large girls like me.
Yes.
And sure enough, look, isn't this lovely?
Yes, it's perfect for spring. I've seen it paired with white jeans, white pants, and it looks really, really pretty.
Oh, I should say. And I think we're all getting a bit of spring fever this week with these warm temperatures, and we're thinking toward newness. We're watching buttercups, as we call them, daffodils, pop up everywhere. I've seen some in my dentist's office even. So I think we're all focusing on newness and renewal, and for a lot of us girls, that includes new threads to wear.
Exactly.
Well, we are excited because Erica has offered to bring her trunk to South Jackson Civic Center this Saturday, and we're going to have a trunk show. Am I the Jane?
You are, yes, you're the Jane.
I'm the Jane. And her company will allow her to give to a nonprofit group of her choice once a year, and so South Jackson will benefit from this sale. So we invite everyone to come over on Saturday from 10 to 1 o'clock, and as you know, we're under construction out front, so we'll ask you all to follow the signs, park on the south side of the building, enter through the South Hall door. Again, it's very well marked, and come in. You can come through the auditorium to our reception area where we'll have all these beautiful clothes and many more set up. And again, we would appreciate your support, because a percentage of the sales will come back to South Jackson Civic Center.
The pet of the week this week at the Tullahoma Animal Shelter is a beagle mix named Rowdy, who entered the shelter as a stray. She is approximately 1 year old and good with other dogs and children. Rowdy is up to date on her vaccinations, heartworm negative, and will receive a free spay provided by the shelter. Be sure to check out the shelter on Facebook for information about upcoming events and fundraisers. Remember, you can help support your local shelter shelter by adopting, donating, or volunteering. For more details, contact Teresa at 454-9580. The Tullahoma Animal Shelter is located at 942 Maplewood Avenue.
The Coffee County Humane Society featured pet this week is Smudge. He is a mixed breed dog who needs a loving home. The shelter also has many other dogs available for adoption at 1210 Oakdale Street in Manchester. Hours of operation at the shelter are 7:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. on Saturday. The shelter's phone number is 723-2730. Donations for animal care can be made to the Coffee County Humane Society at P.O. Box 252 in Manchester. Their website is www.coffeehumane.org.
Stay with us. Your weather forecast is coming up next.
Russell's got your truck, man. Russell's got your truck. Chevy, Ford, and Ram, man. Russell's got your truck. With the best selection anywhere, Russell's got your truck.
Where can you find all 4 all-American truck brands all at one place? Check us out on the web at russellbarnett.com. If you still can't decide, give us a call. We'll line them up for you. Either way, my question is, why buy your next truck anywhere else?
Russell's got your truck, man.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do,
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
We're losing it, doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1980 at 74 degrees. The record low was in 1963 at 0. The average high on this day is 54 and the average low is 34. Rain continues in your forecast for tonight with a low of around 58. Rain in the forecast again for Friday and Saturday. Friday's high is 77 with a low of 62, and Saturday's high is 76 with a low of 56. And that's our Newsleader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
And from all of us on Newsleader 6 wishes you and your families a wonderful weekend. Thank you.